No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I am Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, strap yourselves in, because I do say this a lot, but today we genuinely do have something quite spectacular on our hands, because my friends at the Anno distillery, you might remember them, we've done a few of their gins before. We've done their their standard gin, and of course the 60 square gin, which was 60%. Well, not content with making a super strong 60% gin, the guys at the Anno distillery have, I think they were bored during lockdown and just went quite mad, but they have created this little thing. And my friends, let me introduce you to Anno Extreme 95. And yes, you're right, it does sound like a 1990s dance music compilation, but it is in fact, my friends, the strongest gin in the world. And as the name suggests, it is 95% volume. So I am very much looking forward, but with a tiny air of trepidation, to trying this for you today. Right then, we usually have a look at the website at this point. However, I've been provided with a lovely little booklet here which tells us all we need to know, so I'm going to be reading from that, but not before I use the very special Anno branded alcoholic hand rub, because they've obviously made the most of the difficulties that have been presented to them during the lockdown, and they've gone into hand sanitizer as well. So a quick squirt, there we go, and a rub. We are now COVID-free. Developed by scientists with a taste for adventure and pushing the limits of possibility, Anno Extreme 95 was produced with one goal in mind: to create the spirit of alchemy. A gin that packs more punch and flavour drop for drop than any other spirit in the world. We use an extended distillation with a mix of steeped and vapour-infused botanicals to extract huge flavour. Now this is the interesting bit. So packed into a 20 cl bottle, as you can see it's much smaller than usual, just a 5 ml measure gives you a full flavoured G&T with 75% less alcohol. Or alternatively, you can have a 25 ml serving, which gives you a huge botanical hit and a higher strength. Now this, I just absolutely love. This is kind of uncharted territory for this channel really, or any sort of gin to be honest, because I love how you get this little scientific beaker as well to pour it out. So a 5 ml shot, which is just absolutely tiny, is apparently equivalent to a normal gin and tonic with normal measures. And then if you want to pep it up a little bit more, which we are going to, my friends, you whack the 25 ml. So I think we'll obviously try both and see how they can compare to each other. I might even try a neat shot as well, because as you all know, I am hardcore. So okay, we've established it's very, very strong, but what are the botanicals in there? So we've got juniper, we've got coriander, we've got cassia, fennel, grapefruit, eucalyptus, nutmeg, Kentish hops, and licorice. So it's fairly standard sort of flavours. With the eucalyptus, that's a bit unique. I don't think I've tried one with eucalyptus before, but and they whacked a couple of Kentish hops in there as well, because they are based indeed in Kent. So they're using their sort of local produce there. Right then, my friends, we've fannied around for quite long enough in this video. I think it's time to crack the fellow open, shall we? Crack open the world's strongest gin. So here we go. Get the old thing off. Is it a cork? I do believe. I'm trying to tease that little bit off the top. Sometimes it doesn't always come off. It's not doing it. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. Never mind. It does have a tiny cork, so we'll have the tiny cork test.
The tiny cork test.
So here we go. Do we have a squeak? No squeak at all. We'll go for the full pull. Here we go. Good God, it's the world's strongest gin. I think it's the world's strongest cork as well. Here we go. Hang on. Oh, not bad, not bad. A little bottle. I didn't think it was going to do very well, but I'm quite happy with that. Excellent work in the cork test. So let us... Oh no, I need to measure it out, don't I? So, I don't know if you see in this beaker, it's got like a sort of a bit of cushion in the bottom. I need to get that out first. Although it's surprisingly tricky. Hang on a second. Yes! Freeman 1, beaker 0. So then, here we go. So I'm going to pour out 5 millilitres. Oops, how much is that? Is that about 5? Bang on 5 millilitres. So you can see how tiny a little shot that is. So we're going to whack that in the glass. Actually, I might as well sniff it while it's in the beaker, shall we? Hang on a second. Ooh! I tell you what, that smells amazing. Oh my God, it almost sort of, it's like a big handgun up your nostrils and just clinging onto all your nasal hairs and just giving it a good old, yeah, that's right, I'm a strong gin. But in a pleasant way, if you could possibly imagine. It smells kind of thick and a bit sort of heady and sort of florally as well. I can tell I can get a sense of the hops in there because that's kind of a big, strong flavour. But, my friends, we're not here for the sniffing, are we? We are here for the tasting. So look at that tiny, tiny dribble. You can barely see it in the bottom of the glass. Now then, how many did it say? It said to put 5 millilitres with a, what was it? I think it was on another page. Hang on a second. Here we are, so a 5 millilitre measure of gin over ice. Well, I haven't got any ice at the moment, but we don't worry about that sort of thing on here. So top up with 125 ml of premium Indian tonic water. So 125 ml. This one is 200 ml, so let's do about half of this one, shall we? And see how we get on. So, it's going to be quite, well, it's a little bit over half. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So here we go, my friends. The strongest gin in the world. Cheers. Oh my God. Oh. Now that, my friends, it's not the big whack. So that's like sort of, I'd say that's like a normal gin and tonic. So I was expecting to be overpowered by the strongness, but that's quite a lot of tonic in there. But I tell you what a gorgeous flavour. I mean, it's kind of, as I expected, it's nothing sort of weird and wonderful out there. It's not all about the flavour this one, it's more about the strength. But I'd say everything there is working exactly how you imagined it to. It's beautiful, a little bit stronger on the juniper than I imagine, which is always a good thing with gin, because if it ain't juniper, then it ain't gin. But it's kind of smooth as well. I thought it might be quite harsh, but very, very smooth and very surprisingly easy to drink. But what I really, really want to do is try the full shot. So let's get to it. So that was 5 ml, so I need to top it up to about 20. So it's going to, oh my God, I've taken it to 25. Okay, so that's a 30 ml shot. So, but actually, I think 30 ml is more in line with the American size shot. So that's, most people, most of my viewers seem to be from America anyway. And the rest of you, I don't think you'll mind if I put an extra 5 millilitres in there. So, look at the colour it's gone. Oh my God, it's got like a cloudy colour. I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. A little bit of a scary thing. But anyway, so here we go. No messing around. This time, the full shot of the world's strongest gin. I say again, cheers. Oh, now we're talking. Do you know what? I know they say put the 5 millilitre shot in, but that, do you know what? I thought it was going to be, I honestly thought it was going to be really, really strong, but to the point, unpleasant. It's almost a little bit daunting, isn't it? 95% for God's sake. But that is I thought the flavours might have been completely blasted out of the water by the strength. But let me hear a second. Holy sh! It's like in the same way that when they did the 60% gin, I think, and like Navy sort of strength gin as well, I think that extra boost of strength kind of sort of turbocharges the flavours a little bit, and it kind of carries them to another level. It's like, it's like a sort of, I'd say it's just sort of standard gin flavours, but there's something kind of different in there as well. It's oh man, it's kind of warming and burning on the way down as well. It's kind of like a sort of a sweetness to it, but at the same time, a beautiful, sharp sort of citrus, sort of a tartness to it as well. And it's just got everything that you'd want in a gin, but kind of just brighter and sort of burning a bit more sort of furiously. And it did say there's grapefruit in there, and I love the way it's kind of just a bit like Steve the Bartender's gin, old threefold up there. It's just cunningly woven in there. And I always say I'm not a fan of the grapefruit, but when they use it in sort of a light sort of way, it's beautiful. Honestly, that is just, as I say, I thought it was going to be all about the strength, but it genuinely isn't. It's also about the flavours are just absolutely stupendous. That is a quite remarkable gin, a very special gin. Right then, gin lovers, let's have a bit of fun, shall we? So, I think I should pour a little bit of a shot in here and down the thing neat and see what happens, shall we? Now, it seems a bit lackluster just to do the 5 ml, so I'm going to go for the full 25ml shot, and I'm going to do it straight down. So here we go. The world's strongest gin, 95 bloody %. Down the hatch, my friends. Oh, it burns, it burns, it burns. Oh my God. I took a little break there to hope it might, oh my God. It's literally like someone like someone started a bonfire inside me. But a pleasant one, if you can imagine such a thing. A very sort of pleasant, soothing, well, no, I wouldn't say soothing actually, but wow. I don't know if you've ever downed, still, it feels so hot. It's very strange because you're not really we're aware of the outside of our body, aren't we? We can touch, we can feel, see what it looks like. We're never really aware of the feeling of the inside of our body, but I can feel, absolutely physically, pardon me, sorry about that, the entirety of my gullet and a good portion of my stomach. It's just the senses on there are on fire. And wow, I have to be honest, I know I do have a lot of, there's my microphone wire popping up. I do have a lot of neat gin drinkers out there. A lot of people say to me you should be drinking it neat all the time, but it's sort of everyone's got their own preference. I would challenge even the most hardened and grizzled neat gin drinker to have one of those, because that was quite something. It reminded me a little bit of absinthe when I've drunk a shot of absinthe before. It doesn't just go wham bam and it's gone. It stays with you, and I can still feel it there now. And I think we've got we're on a ticking sort of clock now until it really hits me and I start to appear rather drunk on this video. So let's crack on to the important issue of the price, shall we? Now, as you can see, it is a much, much smaller bottle than usual. However, you wouldn't pour it in such strong measures as usual. So they have priced it at a very, very fair £30, which, as we all know, is my top bracket for gin, unless it's like a smaller distillery, and they are a small distillery, so I wouldn't have minded if they'd gone a little bit over. However, they've gone for the good old £30 mark. Whether or not it's because they watch this channel and they know that's the top bracket and they think that's acceptable, I do not know. However, just to give my my subscribers further afield an idea, that works out at $39.33, and that for something which is quite special, I think. And the fact you get a lovely little scientific beaker with it as well, I think is more than fair, because not only is it a lovely gin, it's a genuine experience. It is the strongest gin in the world, and I think that's a more than fair price to pay for that little fella. So then, gin lovers, what a video today. The world's strongest gin. Now, I believe it's not available further afield, unfortunately, but as I always say, get on the website and tell these guys, if I have subscribers all around the world. So I suggest get in touch with them, tell them that you want a bit of this and get them to export it, because I predict they're only a small, fairly small gin distillery at the moment, but I predict that Anno, when they're pushing boundaries like this, and don't forget the guys that started off, they were scientists, so they know exactly what they're doing, and when they're creating something so special like this, I don't think it'll be long before this is a global product. So get in touch with them, tell them you like the look of their stuff and you want it worldwide, because I'm telling you, these guys, they're going to be big. And as always, guys, if you've enjoyed my video or found it useful, education or arousing in any way, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and press the little like button, and of course the bell icon so you get notified when all my new videos come out. And if you want to support the show, then head over to my Patreon page or press that join button below the video. But until next time, guys, you know the drill. Take care, stay safe, thank you to all my patrons, and keep drinking the gin.